Yo, I'm gonna try to film this while our cat's trying to make my life miserable. All right, so the watch list tonight was Zom, Exxon. It was SBUX, Starbucks. I don't know why I'm saying ticker names. It was Pepsi, Nikola, and Low. So Low, Nikola, Pepsi, Starbucks, and Exxon. I'm gonna start with Exxon. So one of the things I'm always looking for is this divergent flow. So you see that Exxon obviously had a rough week because of the news about oil, because of the impending lockdowns, Biden stepping in. But what we see is on the flow chart, 13.2% bearish volume, so 17% bullish, which is in contrast with the negative 4.62 day that they had. What this tells me is that people want to buy the dip, so I'll look into it a little bit more. You see a lot of this call activity picked up toward the end of the day. There was this put block here, but it was part of a multi-leg option strategy, which means to me like a spread, something like that we don't really have to pay attention to. But these toward the end of the day. So the volume is greater than the open interest, size is greater than the open interest, volume is greater than the open interest. All of these coming in at the end of the day, which says to me that buyers are stepping in. And if I go look here at the chart, I can see actually there was pretty good price action as far as playing it as both a call and a put. You got calls right here, basically above 61. You got puts down here. Basically toward the bottom of 60. So in other words, it could break either way, and I'm looking for it to break above. The next one that we have, sorry, I'm not very good at this yet. Starbucks. So Becky's out in full force. Becky's had her pumpkin lattes, and she's now waiting for the holiday season to start. And most importantly, Becky has, again, 17% outside flow. But what's interesting about this too is you see those calls picking up to the end of the day, volume greater than open interest, volume greater than open interest, volume greater than open interest. And once again, if we go here, so we can see that, and ignore all my lines and charts. I know they're a little painful to the eyes, but again, we have a place where price action stopped here toward the end of the day. 1, 2, here I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. 1, 2, 3, get sent back down. So this here tells me, with that fill it has, that if it's able to break above this, that's a good swing because it has all that room to cover. If you're looking for a place to stop, you're generally going to go with the lowest portion of price action that you have, where versus, which would be around here. So your stop would be somewhere around 112.56 on a swing. Oops, I'm going to remove that drawing. Next up on the list, dear God, I hate switching these tabs. It's annoying. We have Nikola, which I know is shit stock. I understand is shit stock. I'm not under false pretenses about its shit stockiness. Honestly, what I found interesting mostly about this one was the chart. So the flow chart, 62% bullish, so blah, blah, blah. But I also found it interesting because it was kind of in that price action range that you see here, where it's a both way play. So Nikola could break two ways. You can go down here below the 1180 mark, meaning that it's, 12 is done for. 12 is a dream. 12 is not happening anytime soon if it fails a retest. Or it can break above the price action of the day, because look at that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of resistance there. So if it gets above that 1196 range, you could assume that again on a swing it's going to make its way up there, and look at all its ground. This cover here, again, we're trading off price action here with flow. So it's got relatively smooth right up, I'd say, until about 12.5. This is where it starts to hit some more range of resistance, which makes sense because of the level. Next up, we have low. So I played low last earnings. I don't remember from the YEET, but I fucked it up. And then I saved it by saying at the last minute to buy low calls. And that was right. But the email had been sent. The damage had been done. The accounts had been blown up. Below here, obviously, was some bullish flow. They had huge earnings. And you can see here, volume's about 50-50 when you sort it for 1,000. But doesn't give you the full picture. Let's see how it goes sort of for. So 5,000 gets a little more bullish. But the point here being, you want to keep it down at the 1,000 range so you get a full view of the hour. So this is a stock that is approaching all-time highs. Again, here you see size greater than open interest. That means people are generally bullish, and you see a lot of the bearishness comes in these sort of large orders, 26K, but nothing that's... I pay attention to the bearish orders if everything looks really good. If something is, around 100,000 or more, and particularly I pay attention to it when the stock hasn't had a crazy day. So for example, low is up less than 1%. So not an insane day, but a good day. But if you look right here, it's close to this price action trigger. So you see that it tested here and then failed. It tested at this support resistance level a couple times and failed. But if you see here, it's kind of forming on the hourly a little bit of a bull flag. So if I see it cross here, after it's a couple times already crossed here, then I know that what it's trying to do is break out, and then I'm looking for the 250.79 level. It's basically about 251 for it to get a retest here on the 10-minute and then take off. And so lastly, hope to God lastly, we have Pepsi, which is probably the most boring ticker I've ever traded. This belongs in my Pfizer realm. But what I noticed about this one was, let's look at that. Red flow midday, red flow midday, red flow midday. A few orders that were size greater than open interest, but nothing too crazy. But it picks up toward the end of the day. And again, I'm trading momentum. This is not your grandfather's trading strategy, so don't hold me to don't hold me to if you don't long or something. But this momentum looks good to me into the end of the day. I'm going to do a quick price check because this is a stock that can move in larger increments. I'm going to say, let's say, what's going on with $100,000. I'm sorry, I put it in a million. What's going on with $100,000? So we actually see that there's a lot of bearish orders, but some of them are crosses. So some of these are on the floor, but if you look, the dates are old. So in other words, nothing big is going on right now to dissuade us from the momentum that we're seeing. Again, you're going to look at big orders to tell you basically whether or not you want to confirm something. If nothing is huge, 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, a million, depending on what the stock is, then there's something to persuade you or dissuade you. So then I go look at the PEP chart here. And this, you see, is their chart. So right now it's currently sitting at about 164, I think it is. Yeah, 164. And all it has to do is cross 165. So it gets all its room to run and finish filling that gap. So that, to me, is a swing. It's good for at least a point. I mean, obviously, but a couple points probably. So bottom line is, I'm looking for flow to confirm my charts and charts to confirm my flow. And then there's a bunch of these that didn't make my flow. But obviously I really look at Dollar Tree. It's just ready to go through, but the flow one's there. Another one is Gilead, another boring ass stock, completely ready to go. Look at me, I have all my little red boxes for where I think the buy zones are, but here it's completely confirmed breakout up at about 69, so it looks good. eBay, you guys have probably seen me tweeting and shit about this. I really like eBay. No shit. PayPal, I think, has a comeback left in it. So you see here, it's kind of bottomed out, I hope, kind of at this level. It's bouncing off 193. I mean, if it just gets through there, it's got a lot of room to run, and it'll have confirmed the breakout, probably about there, which looks good. And, oh, EA looks pretty good to me, too. I know that last time I played Activision, I had a 60% play before the CEO was accused of God knows what. But it looks like it could break either way here, and I love these where the price action's tight. It can go down and go up. But either way, it's got nothing in the way. So you see no price action below. You don't see price action above, which means it could actually make a move. Looks like here for at least a few points. So that's probably a poor job of explaining all that, but it's my first time trying it. So that's what I'm watching tomorrow. All right. Have a good one, guys.